What's up guys, I'm Nico of CamCrunch, and today I wanted to talk about building an online photography portfolio, specifically using a service called Squarespace. Now I was able to use Squarespace this weekend and I liked it so much that I migrated my own personal website onto Squarespace. With this video I want to show you guys how to use Squarespace, but before that I want to talk a little bit about what Squarespace actually is for those of you that don't know anything about Squarespace. Squarespace is a all-in-one solution that has all of the tools that you need to create a professional looking website all on your own without the knowledge of HTML or CSS or even design. They handle everything, including hosting your content, so whenever you put up content, it goes up to their servers. They are a content management system, so you can upload content, you can take out content, and it all, organizes that content to fit into the style of your website. And it's easy to upload and to remove content. They have a really nice, easy to use user interface. They're design focused, so they have multiple pre-built templates that you can still customize depending on the look and feel that you want from your site. But their bare bones templates in general look, a lot better than many of the sites out there. So they're very, very good places to start. And, some people are even content with how they look on their own. If you're selling prints or artwork or any of that sort of stuff, you can set up a store and it's easy to use. And Squarespace is fully integrated with other social media. So you can connect your Facebook account, your Twitter account, your LinkedIn, any of that sort of stuff, so that you can easily share the content on your website to your peers that are on those social networks. The reason why I really like Squarespace is because they offer a very good package. They offer really good design and really good functionality at a price that most people can afford, because traditionally you would either need to spend a lot of time or a lot of money when you were designing a site. You'd either have to learn all of the skills yourself or you'd have to pay someone to do it for you. But Squarespace puts all of that in the reach of many people. So Squarespace is a good way to really present your work in a nice package without really spending that much money. And I'd even argue that Squarespace sites look a lot better than sites that cost a lot more than what Squarespace charges. So whether you're an amateur like me or an aspiring professional that doesn't have that much money yet but wants a really nice looking site, then Squarespace is a very good option to get. Now I like Squarespace so much that Squarespace actually hooked up the CamCrunch community with a coupon code of 10% off your first purchase. So what you want to do is go to squarespace.com/camcrunch and start your free trial. And if you like what you're using, then you can use the coupon code of CamCrunch to get 10% off of your first purchase. So now I'm going to stop talking about what Squarespace is and actually show you guys what Squarespace is all about by showing you my site and how I built it. So let's get started. Here is the photo that I made for myself, and as you can see, it's divided into 5 sections. It's divided into design, photography, blog, about, and contact. And within photography and design, you do have your subsections as well. Like for photography, for example, I have people and travel and street. And travel and street is what I turned into my homepage. Now, again, the theme that I'm using, or the template that I'm using, is called Ishimoto, and the sort of the main feature is this slider that goes from the whole page lengthwise, not height-wise, but lengthwise. And I like it specifically for photography because it shows off the image, the main image in the center, but it shows off the image to the left and to the right of it, sort of to put the image in the center into perspective or into context with the whole portfolio or the whole group of images. And I like that because as much as I like viewing individual photos, I like seeing photos as they are in terms of the group that they're in, to be able to really understand how the person's work that I'm looking at, how they shoot and sort of their style. And I really like that, which is why I chose this particular template. So it goes from left to right again, and you can navigate by clicking the picture on the left or the picture on the right. But you can also use the left and right keys on your keyboard to navigate. And that is the same with the people section. It's set up the same way. It's got the same Ishimoto theme, and it's got the slider, which I do, again, really like. Now for design, however, I chose to go with a different look. Now the main gallery setting of Ishimoto is that slider, but what I did to get this different look is to build a page and put a gallery within that page. So that is a nice option that Squarespace gives you, and that's an option that a lot of you guys can use if you are doing a website with 2 different looks, so 2 different sections that you want different looks with. So this is a page. It's an actual page, And what Squarespace does is within the page you can have blocks, and that's what these are. I have the block of text here, and then I have the gallery block over here. And you can sort of arrange that depending on how you want. I wanted this text block to be a little bit smaller to make it less part of the page, and I wanted the gallery to fill a bigger portion of the right side of the page, which is why I organized it like this. This gallery setting is called the stacked setting, as it places the images on top of each other. But you can choose other gallery settings, like you can choose one just like the Ishimoto gallery, only it will only fill the length of the page and not the whole website. Or you can choose a slideshow, or you can choose a grid gallery, all depending on what you want and what you're trying to show. The blog is another type of page that you can use, and it's built so that it's got the back end of the blog, meaning you can just add posts as you want, and it does have a place for you to build posts, publish posts, and all that sort of stuff. About is another page. It's just a regular page, again with a 2-column layout, and contact is another page. This time it has a contact form and a map, which are things that you can plug in into blocks using the page setting, which I will show you guys in a bit. So that's really just how my website is laid out. It's very simple, but I think it's very effective. It's got the photography section, which has a consistent look, and it's got the design section, which has a different look, but it's consistent with the other design works. So that's something that you might want to note. So now let's look at how you build an actual website. So the first thing you want to do is go to squarespace.com/camcrunch. And that's just so that they know that I sent you there. And I do have a discount code for those of you that will make your first purchase. It's a 10% discount code, and it's camcrunch, and you do enter that in during checkout. And it's a nice way to save a little bit of money when you're making that first purchase. So what you do here is you just click get started. You do have these other options, so you can check out the pricing, the templates, all this sort of good stuff. But if you want to just go and create your website right away, just click get started in the center. And what you'll do here is pick your first template. And with these templates, you can choose really whatever you think will fit your content. You can choose one of these portfolio layouts if you're making a portfolio, but if you want your portfolio to be in a blog format, let's say, you can choose a blog format and then have that be your portfolio. You can change the template after you've registered, so it's not too big of a deal. This is just sort of a starting point. So Ishimoto is right here. Gonna click that, and then you can get started with this design. And once you do that, you can click your first name, last name, your email address, and your password, and that's it to create a free trial. You don't need to input your credit card information until you're actually making a purchase, which I think is super cool. Even people that don't necessarily have credit cards yet, they can try out the website and judge for themselves whether they like it or not before actually committing and making that purchase. So after you register, you get to your dashboard, which is right here. And this is where all the magic happens. Within the dashboard, you have these different sections right here. You have the preview, which is the eye, the content manager. You have the activity, which is like an analytics settings. You have the actual settings. You have commerce, and then you have your help and the extra information that you might need. So the first thing that I would encourage everyone to do is just change their settings. This will include the site title, the sub headline, the description, your meta description, your logo, your fave icon, which is this N on top here where the browser is, other contact information. You have general information, which is things like the Google Analytics account number if you use that, Typekit ID. You have Discuss short name, so if you're using Discuss commenting system, Amazon Associates ID, and a lot more options. Then you have your time and geography, domains, templates, billing, contributors if you have more than one author, you connected accounts. You have all sorts of settings that you can change within the settings panel. But after you do all that, then I think that the next step is the content management system or the content manager. And this is where all the magic happens. This is where you put in everything that's going to be on your website. And just to show you guys how mine is set up, it's set up as design. And then it's got the Tokyo Metro, Illume, Sweet Baby Ray's, which is a barbecue sauce, photography, and under that you got people, travel, and then I have a blog about content, and then you can add the pages. So the way mine is set up is this design and photography, they're actually folders, which aren't live pages. They're more like categories, and what's housed within them are the actual pages. So I have people and travel for photography, which are galleries. And when you choose a gallery with the Ishimoto template, it defaults to that slider gallery, which is, the reason why you want to choose that if you want that slider gallery. And this is how the interface looks like once you have images built in. But let's say you don't have images yet, or you want to put images, you can just click this plus right here, or you can drag and drop into this interface. So I'm going to add one image. I'll add this. No, I already have that image. So what can I add? Which don't I have yet? Let's add this one. I think I actually have this image. Oh, it's right here, but let's just add that for the sake of showing you what's going on. So you just wait for that to upload, and depending on how large your file is and how fast your internet is, it takes, a varied amount of time. But after you do that, you can change different settings. Like you can change the settings of each individual photo by right-clicking it. So once you right-click this image, for example, you can enter a title, a description. You can change other options like the URL, location, and social stuff. So I'm going to go back to item, and I'm going to name it Oxford. All right, and then I'm going to name it 2012 because that's when the image was taken. For options, I'm going to name it Oxford. So that's going to be the URL. Maybe Oxford 2012. And then I'm going to save because those are the only settings that I want to change. And as you can see, this one is still processing, but it's basically uploaded at this point. You might want to wait until the image shows up, but from my experience, once it does this, most of the time it's already uploaded. So as you can see, I changed the settings of that photo. So let's view the gallery. When you view the gallery, you can see the difference now. So if I click this image, if I click this image, for example, it has this gibberish URL, right? But if I go back to this image, it says Oxford 2012 in the lower left-hand corner of the image, and the URL is squarespace.com/Oxford 2012. So those are the different changes that you can make when you're editing the information of your photos. So now we have this whole new interface that I didn't show you guys. This is the actual website, but down here we have a little pen, a little paintbrush, and a little gear. We're going to go back to the gear because that will go back to the manage site, because I want to show you guys that other stuff later. So that was the gallery settings. You can actually change some of the gallery settings up here, which will change the name, the page title, description, all this sort of good stuff. You do want to fill that out. Sometimes your theme won't support this data in that it won't show it, but it's important. Sometimes it's involved in the metadata and that sort of stuff. So you'll want to just add that, especially when you think you're going to change your template in the future anyway. You'll want to put that. So let's just click save. And that's it for the gallery. Now let's look at the pages, because a lot of my other stuff is built with pages, like my Tokyo Metro. My design work basically is built with pages. You have the blog, about page, and contact page are pages. So I'll show you what I did for Illume. So let's click Illume. And as you can see, I have a text box here, and then I have the gallery here to the right of the screen. And you can see that it's arranged in a way that the text box covers less than half to the left, and then the gallery fills up to the right. But it doesn't have to be like this. I can drag this gallery down here to below the text box, and it's sort of going to fill this way. And I can delete some of this. And if I visit the page, I'll save it. Yeah, I'll leave this page. If I visit the page, now it's set up like this with the text over, so like a description, and then you got your image down here, which is really nice actually. Some of you might want to do it like this if you're setting up a page, but you can do it other ways as well. You can put the gallery to the left of the text box and then have the description to the right. Now once you do this, you can also change the width. So if I want the gallery to be smaller, I can do that. If I want the gallery to be bigger, I can do that. So it's really nice and very, very customizable. I'm going to put it back here. Now, what if I want to add more stuff? Well, I can click somewhere. Let's say I wanted to add, I can add a block up here. And this will allow me to add another text box. It can allow me to add a quote, an image, another gallery, a video, all sorts of good stuff. You can add a product from Amazon, a donation button. You can add more structure. So if you want a search box or link to collections, you can add some social stuff if you want. So you can have a lot of stuff that you can add to a page itself, and it's very customizable. So now let's go back to the gallery because I want to show you guys something. Right now it's set up as a stacked gallery as I showed you, but you can actually go here, and this is the settings for the gallery that you see here. We can go to design and we can choose a different setting. So we can choose a slider, which will be sort of like that, sort of like Ishimoto in a way, a side-to-side slider, but we can do something like a slideshow, which has the thumbnails in the bottom. So let's click thumbnails. And we can do the description and all sorts of stuff, or we can do a grid, which has them set up in a grid. But I want to show you guys slideshow because slideshow is also one that I like using. So right now it's on slideshow. I'm going to save and publish and view the page. And you can see it's really nice and neat and organized. You have your little description here, and then you have a slideshow here, which I think is also another good option for some of you that might want to change the way your pages look. So I think that's all that you guys really need to know. I showed you guys how to customize the pages. I showed you guys how to customize the galleries and all that sort of good stuff. And I think that you'll be able to really put together a good website really quickly with that information. Now, one thing to note is that I think that the biggest time consuming part is getting your photos ready. So before you even start making the website, you want to collect all the photos that you want to add to a gallery. Maybe you want to rename them. Maybe you want to add your metadata, all that sort of good stuff, so that you can just upload those straight away once you're starting to build your website. I have my about page here, which again I can move around depending on how I want it. So if I save this, for example, and view page, my picture is going to be a lot smaller now. And yeah, it's really, really simple, really intuitive, and that's how it's going to be in terms of uploading your pictures. Now, one last thing I'll show you guys before ending this tutorial section is, let's say I view this gallery, right? Let's say I don't want my website to be like this. We can actually edit the way this looks by clicking this little paintbrush here. Now this paintbrush will open this little box here to the left, and depending on what you click, you'll have different settings. So let's say I click on this navigation, right? This navigation right now is to the right of the image, away from the header, but it will give me an option here if I want a normal navigation bar, which will stick here, or if I want a stacked navigation here. It will also give me the option to change how this is organized. So right now it is left aligned, right? I could also do a center aligned. Some people like this look, which is a look that I actually started with initially, but eventually went for the different look. You can change the different colors. So let's say I click here. If I want my navigation active color to be black, let's say, instead of gray, I can do that. Done. Navigation hover color, just black as well. Click, done. So right now the active color is black and the other colors are gray, and then if you hover, it's also going to be gray. Now let's click on the photos, for example. The slide opacity, we can change that. So the non-focused image can be darker if you want, or you can make it lighter. You can remove social media icons if you want. You can change them square, normal, and you just have a lot of options. So I'm going to put this back really quickly. This section, I'm going to click it, header alignment left, and then the navigation, I want that to split because that's how I like it. And I'm going to save that. And close this. And then last but not the least, you can, on this website itself, if you click the pen or the pencil, you can change the information on here. So rather than going to the settings panel, you can click this and it will bring you to where you need to go to change the settings yourself. It's going to change you it's going to show you the available settings that you can change. So down here, as you can see, I have a box that I can customize, but I haven't customized it yet. And I can do that. So I'm going to exit that. So that's it, guys. That's my site. And I hope this tutorial just shows you guys how easy it is to build a website really quickly and make it look really nice just using Squarespace. So that's it, guys. If you guys want to try Squarespace, go to squarespace.com/camcrunch. And if you guys are making your first purchase, make sure to use that 10% discount code using the coupon code CAMCRUNCH. Again, I'm Nico of CamCrunch, and I'll see you guys in the next video.